110% like single. And I don't even know where to approach dating anymore because I've been on Tinder. That's another thing. When I was dating Angel, like I would occasionally make a Tinder account and just swipe casually, just do it out of boredom, like at work and stuff. I wouldn't message anybody I would match with. I didn't respond to any messages if I got any, which was pretty rare, but I might have gotten like one or two, but I didn't respond to them. And I was just kind of doing it out of boredom, but there were times where the relationship wasn't super fulfilling on my side of things, and I just kind of left the door kind of cracked open, kind of like what she was doing with her ex that led to this whole thing. So like I'm at least familiar with like what Tinder and Bumble are like these days, and they're fucking awful. Like I don't know how anybody's supposed to meet anybody off of these things unless you're already like a supermodel that everybody's gonna want to swipe on. And I feel like those apps have taken over the dating world. Like I don't know where to go, like to even like sign up for a dating site anymore. Like the ones that I used to use, like when I was in my 20s, like they're complete trash now. Like they've been like their whole interface has been revamped and it looks terrible and like now there's like features that are behind paywalls that used to be free and shit. So it's like I don't even know like where to begin and I'm not really trying to pay to have like a Tinder account so I can get unlimited swipes and shit. Like I don't want to do that. That's like $30 for a month. That sounds ridiculous to me. And then of course they drop the price the longer you go, but isn't the point of the app get off of it? Why do I want to buy a 6 month subscription if I can get off of it in a month or two because I'm using your service? Like it doesn't fucking make sense to me.
Because a lot of people on Tinder aren't there for serious stuff.
Yeah, I know. And that's the point I'm making. Like online dating is in such a shit place because of that. Because like these little like hookup apps have taken over and there's like that's where everybody goes. So now you've got a crowd, right? You've got a crowd of people. So out of this crowd of people, think of a pie chart here. So you've got a large chunk of your swiping audience that just wouldn't be interested in you. Say they don't. I mean, unless you're like a fucking 8 or above on the looks meter. Like there's gonna be a large chunk that just won't be interested in you from your picture, and they're just immediately gonna swipe left without looking at you beyond one picture. They won't look at a bio if you have one. They won't look at anything. They just see the one picture and they go left. So okay, already half the audience is just gone. Now you've got now you've got that other half of a pie chunk left, and now you've got to segregate it. Now you've got like the gay people that aren't actually there looking at you, but because they're the opposite sex, like so for us guys, you got like a chunk of lesbians you got to swipe out because Tinder doesn't swipe, they don't filter that out. And then you've got another chunk that's just not your type. Now you got to swipe that part out. Then you got a chunk of people that you like but they don't like, or maybe you like them and they're interested in you, but then after like two texts back and forth, you're not interested, or somebody better comes along and they just immediately just, ghost you and they're gone. So, so it's like you've got this little chunk of a pie left, and there's probably other things that I could probably throw in there to even take that chunk, thin it out even more. And that's your opportunity to be able to send them a message at the right time where they're going to see it and want to respond without forgetting about it before you get lost in the shuffle of a million other guys trying to talk to this girl. And then the message has to be good enough to make them want to reply because now you've got an entire generation of online dating that is so fed up with bland dead end conversation. So when you send a message like, "Hey, how's it going?" to a girl, do you know how many times they've been, "Hey, what's up? Hey, how's it going? Hey, how's your day?" That kind of generic opening line stuff that they see when they sign up for an online dating profile that they will just completely flat out ignore and just never reply to it. It's like it so now you gotta come up with a witty response to get them to reply. And if you're somebody like me who is not the most charismatic, and especially if I'm coming off of a long day at work and I'm mentally fried, I'm not gonna have a witty. I'm not gonna have that witty opening line to send to somebody. And then even if I do have one witty line, it's not gonna hit for everybody. So it's like, and then on top of that, I know I'm rambling here, but I'm making good points. And then on top of all that, the girls that you do match with, there's gonna be a large section of those that are gonna their profile, their bio, if they assuming they even have one, and then if they do, it's gonna sound so jaded, or they're gonna have like daddy issues, or they're gonna have kids and be a single mom. And I say kids because I don't necessarily mind a kid, but kids I don't do. Um, there's just so many things to swipe that slice of pie thinner and thinner and thinner. Like everybody that online dates is so jaded too. That's the other thing. And like, dude, I should tell you the stories I hear from Vigron because he actually paid for a Bumble subscription. He's got one of those, and you know, I talk to him like I'm talking to you about like the dating thing. Like I've known Vigron for a really long time, and like me and him have always kind of like talked dating and love life stuff and whatnot. And yeah, he made a Bumble account and he bought a subscription for it. And honestly, when I talk to him now, it's like I'm listening to him talk about a video game. All he's doing on there is like playing with an algorithm. So like I should go find the conversation we had today about it. But like he's basically got this formula down when he's on this app where it's like if I start matching with too many people and they don't reply to me after like X amount of time, I just unmatch them right away because the algorithm won't let me match with other people unless I lower the amount of matches I've got in my queue, for example. Or then he'll be like, if I match with somebody and they immediately ask me my zodiac sign, I just immediately unmatch them. Or he told me this story about he matched with this one girl and he called all the people that she matched with and talked to fans, and like that turned him off, and then he like unmatched her or something. And then like he's telling me all these different weird crazy stories and like all these different like little things he's doing with the algorithm to play around with it and whatnot. And I'm listening to this, I'm like, this sounds fucking terrible. Like I'm about to go into this world of online dating again, and this is it. Like this is all it is now, and it's like depressing as fuck. And even before you say, well, why don't you go out and try to meet somebody? Well, I have a feeling like within 1 to 2 months, the whole fucking country is gonna be on a whole nother COVID lockdown. So it's like this whole
But
thing is just gonna be a fucking shit show.
I mean, the only thing I could recommend, honestly, personally, I usually don't recommend people to go on those two specific apps because, like you said, the whole chunk and chunk and chunk is really true. It's like a 5% chance or less you'll find someone there that like you actually get along with and talk with and are semi-serious.
Mm.
But I mean, my honest opinion, and it's cheesy, but honestly, you don't need to be in a relationship right now.
No, I know
You're
I
just
don't.
getting out of one, so I would
But
say
yeah, I'm not
try it.
necessarily
Don't
trying to
look at it
like.
as serious. Just use it for fun if you want, and if not, don't use it. I wouldn't use it and then get frustrated because that's just gonna make you feel worse. Just use it if you really want to, and just be like, something happens, something semi-serious happens, something semi-serious happens, but I'm not gonna force it,
Yeah.
And if you don't want to go through that BS, which is probably gonna happen when you use that, just don't use it. But honestly, at this point, I would just say just catch up with your old friends, do other stuff, catch up with your old guy friends. And you say you don't have any girlfriends, but catch up with your old girlfriends. I'm sure you have girlfriends that you used to talk to before. Catch up with them, catch up with groups, and just find your own thing to do. Yeah, fuck her. You had your own hobbies before her, so they're still there, and you can just catch up with those people and, try new things out. And if
Well,
you meet somebody, you meet somebody.
yeah. Well, see, that was